reports from these court documents. It continues to stall here. My Microsoft OneDrive location here, and it's not allowing me to do it. It gets to 80K and it stalls over and over again. Cuneo report docs, trying to upload the docs, and it's doing this continually. They don't want me to put these files up there, do they? Dan Cuneo report. Here it is, JPEG. Right here. Uploading one item. 80K. It goes to 80K. And then it stops. I'm supposed to have an upload speed of between 0.5 to 1 megabyte per second. And it's running right now. It keeps showing 0.14. When I do the test that my ISP told me to do, it keeps showing 0.14. But it's not even doing that. It's just repeatedly doing this. It's just put on, it goes to 80K and stops. Then a few minutes ago, I heard some weird howling outside of my house. I don't know what's going on out there. Did somebody lose their pet or something? They're calling for him or what? But it sounded awful strange, though. There's somebody trying to intimidate me. Let's see here, huh? Here, let's put this down for a minute. Here's what it is. Let's just look at these documents once. Here's our page 1 of our document we're trying to get up there. Oh no, that's actually page 3 in fact. Well, so we get that one missed. Here's page 3 now. Anyway, so let's find page. Here's page 1. Here's page 1. I'm sorry. Here's page 1. So this is the document I'm trying to upload. Here all night. Actually, for several days now, I've been having these follow-ups. Trying to upload this document. I made the video about several days ago. Daniel J. Cuneo, PhD, clinical psychologist, 2217 West Main Street, Belleville, Illinois, etc. To the Honorable Dennis Doyle, 20th Judicial Circuit, Monroe County Courthouse, Waterloo, Illinois, etc. This sham interview from this Dan Cuneo, this sham interview, that then they could threaten somebody's liberty for a year based on this corrupt individual's sham interview of me. His 5-minute diagnosis of this alleged psychiatric condition. And all kinds of other problems with this too. And bringing up issues from 10 years ago. Why did my attorney object to this? Why did my attorney object to that? That he brings an evaluation from 10 years ago? Also, why did my attorney... This isn't the judge that's even hearing my case. Why did the attorney address that issue? That's not the judge who's hearing my case. You know, there's numerous issues that come to my mind that I'm obviously not being represented very well by these public defenders. This situation in Illinois, this is really sad. The situation they have here, where they just do this to you, and then they lock you up and just jack you up with a bunch of antipsychotic drugs, you know, without any evidence ever being presented, without any testimony or evidence or anything, you know. Just Dan sees you for 5 minutes and jumps to his conclusion and just puts his little spin on it here and stuff. Some of it's fictitious when he writes here, you know. I mean, what is going on here? Is this really due process? Is Go through it again. Pursuant to court order on February 6, 2018, I evaluated Mr. David B. Mueller at my office in Belleville for the purpose of establishing an opinion as to his fitness to stand trial. David B. Mueller is a 55-year-old Caucasian single male who is presently charged with 3 counts of disorderly conduct. When Mr. Mueller was asked with what he had been charged, he rambled. Not he responded. No, he rambled. No, Dr. Cuneo, I didn't ramble. I responded. Did I refer that to my attorney, Mr. Morris? That's my constitutional right to do that, Mr. Cuneo. Dr. Cuneo. That I refer that to my attorney. It's like I have a constitutional right to do that, Dan Cuneo. Mr. Morris, it's a stupid charge. I don't know if I said that. I think that's a misquote. I don't think I said that exact words. I said something to that effect. Disorderly conduct. It's a malicious prosecution. I said it's malicious prosecution is what they're engaging in. They've done it to me numerous times. They get away with impunity because it never gets to any trial or any of that. No, it was all plea bargain. This is why I told the public defenders years ago when they did all this, I don't want to do these plea bargains. But they insisted I did. My constitutional rights were violated, where they insisted that I accept plea bargains that I did not wish to accept. And coerced me and forced me to accept plea bargains that I did not want. It's a malicious prosecution, police harassment from Columbia Police Report. I referred all to my attorney. Now that's rambling. That's rambling. That I just state the facts, Dan Cuneo. Is that a psychotic thing to state? To state the facts? I had previously evaluated Mr. Mueller on May 9th, 2008. That, again, why is this being brought up from 2008? Why would my attorney object to that? As to his fitness to stand trial, and submitted my report to the court on May 10th, 2008. It had been my opinion then that Mr. Mueller could best be diagnosed as 1. Psychotic disorder not otherwise specified, 2. Rule out schizoaffective disorder, and 3. Polysubstance dependence in a controlled environment. It has also been my opinion then that Mr. Mueller's mental illness substantially impaired his ability to understand the nature and purpose of the proceedings against him, and his ability to assist in his own defense. In addition to my interview with Mr. Mueller, I reviewed on May 10th, 2008, my May 10th, 2008 fitness to stand trial report on Mr. Mueller. At the beginning of my interview with Mr. Mueller, I informed him of the limited confidentiality of my assessment, as I would be sending a copy of my findings to Mr. Arthur Morris, the public defender, to Mr. Chris E. Heitzman, the state's attorney, and to you, the presiding judge. When asked if he understood the aforementioned information and if he wished to continue, Mr. Mueller replied, "I refer that to my attorney." I explained again to Mr. Mueller the limited confidentiality of my assessment, and he again replied, "I refer that to my attorney." I don't know how that interaction there, that you derive a diagnosis because the person exercised their constitutional rights. You know, I'm delusional that he searched later because I did this. You know, mental status exam revealed Mr. Mueller to be oriented in all three spheres: person, time, and place. In other words, he knew who he was, that he was in my office in Belleville, and that he could correctly identify the day of the week, month, and year. He denied ever experiencing any type of hallucinations and insisted that he is not now nor ever was mentally ill. Frankly, Dr. Jr., I do not recall that part of the interview. I wish we had a video of the interview. Was the interview videotaped? It would have been nice if it would have been. So if I refuted something you claim here, then we would have something to refer to. His thinking was delusional, and these delusions were paranoid in nature. He repeatedly insisted that he was being abused by the courts, the police, and his neighbor. When pushed for more information, he exclaimed, "I refer that to my attorney. I was in jail. I've been abused by the criminal justice system. Many people have, Mr. Cuneo, Dr. Cuneo, whichever is appropriate." I'm sorry, sir. Dr. Cuneo. When pushed for more information, he exclaimed, "I refer that to my attorney. I was in jail. I've been abused by the criminal justice system, as millions of people have in the United States of America. My neighbor says that I am a pedophile, and I took a picture of him and put it on YouTube, and it's blocked by copyright." That is not what I said. It's a her, and etc. There's all kinds of misinformation there. Disinformation and misinformation there. That is not what I said. But I won't go into that now. Reading on, when pushed on why the police were out to get him, he insisted, "In my sociology classes, I wrote papers critical of police." Well, I did, in fact. This has gone on for years. I said a number of other things, too, though. Mr. Mueller had voiced similar paranoid delusions when I had evaluated him in February 2008. At that time, he had insisted that he had been singled out and that the officials in Monroe County were all out to get him. He had ranted, "This is obscene. They've committed numerous felonies. I've contacted the FBI. I'll be better with Obama than Bush." He's misquoting me here again. He did in 2008. I recall this, how he misquoted me. These sham interviews that then he misquotes and tries to smear me with. This attempt to smear me in this couple-page report that they believe that it will just be swept under the rug, that nobody ever know any of this anyway. Because who's going to go over the details of what goes on in these court proceedings like this and these documents? Well, I am. That's who. Now, but at the time, and even now, I'm sure that's their assumption. That he can get away with it, continuing to do this. You know, he insisted that there was a conspiracy against him by St. Louis City, St. Louis County, Jefferson County, and Monroe County. As the interview progressed, he became increasingly more agitated and pounded on the desk. He screamed, "My civil rights are being violated. They repeatedly arrest me. This is Nazi Germany. I want something done." Whatever your recollection is, Dr. Cuneo, I'm not sure that's the exact words I said. I might have said something to that effect, though. This is like Nazi Germany. And they have repeatedly arrested me. It's a statement of fact. It's not a delusion. They did repeatedly arrest me, Dr. Cuneo. It's not a delusion. There's the records. I was repeatedly arrested. What's delusional about it, sir? How is that a paranoid delusion? To state a fact? A demonstrable fact? How is that a paranoid delusion? His thinking itself was often loose and tangential, as he would bounce from subject to subject that were at best only obliquely related. Right, sir? Sure. Okay, Cuneo. His thinking became progressively more loose the more agitated he became. You know, when somebody is abused over and over again, they do get agitated. It's a normal response, Dr. Cuneo. Normal, healthy response to being abused repeatedly. That's what I would suggest. That's appropriate to be agitated in those circumstances. There's a human right to be agitated in those circumstances and to express that agitation. That's why we have a First Amendment in the United States for precisely that kind of thing. That we can express such agitation. While no formal intellectual testing was done, Mr. Mueller appeared to be functioning in at least the bright normal range of intelligence based upon his vocabulary, sentence structure, and syntax. He stated that he had graduated from high school, received his Bachelor of Science in Psychology and Sociology from SIUE, Southern Illinois University at Edwardsville, and then later received his Master's of Arts in Sociology from Southern Illinois University at Edwardsville. His short-term memory was unimpaired. For example, he could repeat back accurately 6 numbers forward and 4 numbers backwards. He did have difficulties giving any type of rational history due to his cognitive confusion and difficulties staying on the point. Whatever, Cuneo. His affect was extremely agitated, and his speech was rapid and pressured. He became more agitated as the interview progressed. Really, did I? I don't believe I did. You know, when asked, but it's understandable if I did. When asked if he, maybe I don't know. But I'm sure you exaggerate the degree to which I did that, though. He became more agitated as the interview progressed. When asked if he ever experienced any periods of depression, he did say, "My mom passed away last year. It's been tough." No, in 2016, actually, Dr. Cuneo. October 2016, the day after my birthday. She was 91. I lived with her. Mr. Mueller now lives alone in the house. That's correct. I still live in my mom and dad's house. I lived here now for 50. I've lived in this house. We moved here in 1967. Lived here for 51 years now. Page 3 here. I mean, I'm just trying to get these documents up there. And I was going to present, because before I had a 2-hour video, when it's already at 20 minutes, I was just trying to upload the documents themselves, but they won't let me do that, so I have to do it like this. Let's see, what do we do with page 3 here? Oh, here. Let's try a PDF here. We got a bit, I believe. How this comes up. Okay, here's page 3. Let it focus for a moment here. Camera went out of focus for a second here. Camera's still having focus issues. Is it the change of the color, maybe? Let me make sure this lens is okay. It's strange. It's suddenly it see if we can get back here. So I thought it was looking okay before. I hope so. But yeah, everything's there. There it goes. It looks like it's coming back in now. I hope. So hopefully it's clear enough that you get a screenshot. Because I've been trying to upload the documents, and I've been having the weirdest hang-ups trying to do so. When asked about his alcohol use, he insisted, "I don't drink alcohol, but I'll refer that to my attorney. I go to a bar, drink soda, and sing karaoke." Well, that's a fact. When asked about his drug use, he again stated, "I'll refer that to my attorney." When I evaluated Mr. Mueller in 2008, he admitted, again, why didn't my attorney object to this all being brought up from 2008? How is this appropriate? 2008, how does this enter the picture? He admitted that he used marijuana and LSD and liked, quote, the good stuff. In addition, he spoke of how he drank cough syrup as often as he can get it and used it as means to self-medicate against any and all problems. He had termed cough syrup Jesus juice and proclaimed that it can cure mental illness. If that's what you say, Dr. Q, I don't think I said exactly that, but whatever. He had rambled, cough medicine cured my mental illness. Dr. Quino rambled that Mueller, quote, said, cough medicine cured my mental illness. I self-prescribed it. As Quino continued to ramble on his misquotes of David Mueller. During the current interview, when I asked specifically about his past use of, quote, Jesus juice, he again answered, I'll refer that to my attorney. He refused to give any information about his past mental health treatment. When pushed, he laughed, I'll refer that to my attorney. Medical confidentiality. Yes, that's right, Dr. Q. We used to have that idea in the United States. We used to have the idea of medical confidentiality. What happened to that? Is that some terrible thing or something to you, Dr. Q? Is that some terrible thing that's a strike against me, that you'll defame me then, put your defamatory psychiatric label on me then? Because I bring up medical confidentiality? You don't like that? You want to smear me? You want to use your pseudoscience in here and smear me? With your silly 5-minute interviews that you jump to these conclusions and slap this label on somebody and try to deprive them a year of their life so you can reduce their brain to mush with antipsychotic drugs? Past reports noted that he had been hospitalized at Barnes Hospital and at St. Elizabeth's Hospital. In my 2008 assessment, he had damned Barnes Hospital and stated that in 1993 they forced him to take psychotropic medication, Haldol against his will. Yes, they did. I believe that's supposed to be illegal for them to do that. He had screamed that St. Elizabeth's Hospital in Belleville did involuntary things to me in 1992. Yes, they committed aggravated battery against us human beings who are put in these situations. I call it aggravated battery. When they hold you down to a gurney and force you to take medication that you have declined. I refer to it as aggravated battery. At the current time, Mr. Mueller is on no psychotropic medication. Mr. Mueller is on Social Security disability for psychiatric difficulties. The diagnosis for Mr. David Mueller, based upon my evaluation today, first of all, I'm on the disability because anxiety disorder, because the anxiety and the post-traumatic stress disorder from being repeatedly traumatized like this. By these actors from the very criminal justice system, and then these ones from the behavioral health industry. This is why I'm disabled. The diagnosis for Mr. Mueller, based upon my evaluation to date, would be the following: unspecified schizophrenia spectrum and other psychotic disorders. Right here, for example, why these are just totally bogus diagnoses. They have no validity at all. They're not valid or reliable. That's why they change like this. That's why they changed from the previous one. They're just labels, Dr. Cuneo. They're just defamatory labels. They have no medical validity. They're not medical illnesses. It would be my opinion that Mr. Mueller's mental illness, unspecified schizophrenia spectrum, and other psychotic disorders substantially impairs his ability to understand the nature and purpose of the proceedings against him and his ability to assist in his own defense. He does know that he is charged with criminal offenses, can name them, and that he has to stand trial on these charges. At the same time, he is psychotic and actively delusional. These delusions are paranoid in nature and encompass the court system. When asked the role of a state's attorney, and says, I'll refer that to my attorney. Well, then how do you come up with this conclusion of these convoluted delusions you say I have about the criminal justice system? If all I say is I refer to my attorney, how do you make this conclusion? Well, how do you jump to that conclusion there? You know? Since I told you almost nothing, how can you jump to that kind of conclusion in 5 minutes? And just write me off as this delusional nutcase. You know? There's no... They could have... This is a smear job. You know? Admit it, Dr. Q. This is just a smear job. This is just defamation and smear. This has no validity, no scientific medical validity whatsoever. This is hogwash. When asked the role of a judge, he exclaimed, I'll refer that to my attorney. So that's a paranoid delusion that encompasses the court system. When you ask me a question and I tell you, Dr. Cuneo, I refer that to my attorney. That in your mind, that's a paranoid delusion. My constitutional right to do that. To you is a paranoid delusion. His thinking is so loose that he could not communicate with his attorney in any rational... We gotta go find page 4 here. Manner, much less assist in his own defense. His affect is so agitated that he would disrupt the courtroom. Therefore, it would be my opinion that Mr. David Mueller is presently unfit to stand trial. It would also be my opinion that Mr. Mueller were provided with a course of inpatient psychiatric mistreatment and stabilized on psychotropic genocide medications. There is a substantial probability that he would... Oh, I'm sorry, I added a few words there. There's a substantial probability that he would be able to attain fitness within the course of 1 year. If you have any questions, if I can be further, it says, please do not hesitate to ask. Sincerely, Daniel J. Cuneo, PhD. You know, sir, Dr. Cuneo, I sat in the courtroom the day they gave me this document. I wasn't so agitated that day that disrupted anything. Nothing was disrupted that day. Sat there quietly in the courtroom and got this document from my attorney. So you jump to these false conclusions. You just jump to conclusions without knowing anything. You take the littlest bit of information and you jump to a conclusion that's invalid, unreliable, totally unscientific. Well, I'll have much more to say about this in the coming days. I'll have much more to say about it. I will continue to speak about it as much as I can. Thanks for listening, folks. Bye.